Hi everybody, this is Pat in the paper closet. Glad you could stop by today. Today we're going to be making the cover, which is part one of our daily journal that we're making. It has 140 pages. It's going to have a stacked deck, meaning all the pages are going to stack on one on top of the other. And we're going to glue them. So I've made my cover. Now I know I said I was going to try and see what happens if I use single pieces of cereal cardboard. But that turned out to be too thin. So I doubled it up and it worked out just fine. I glued them all together and they're dry. And this is 2 pieces glued together. Now you'll need 4 of these at 4.5 by 6 3/4. My camera's still in slow motion. I'm gonna go a little bit further and then I'll check it out. Alright, so you need 4 pieces. You're gonna glue two pieces for one side, 2 pieces for the other side. And then your binding, your spine is gonna be 1 inch by 6 3/4. So you'll cut 2 of these, glue them together, as I've done here. Let them dry about an hour, half an hour, till they feel dry. And now we're going to glue them onto our piece of cardstock, which is going to be our outer cover, similar to this one. So I've glued this one down. Smoothed it all out, so that piece is good. Now I had marks where I wanted to line it up, but if I had put it on my mark, it would have ended up too short to wrap on the other end, as you can see here. This is just good. This will work, this amount. Anything shorter than that, it won't wrap well. So this is good. This is an 8.5 by 11 inch piece of cardstock. I'm going to glue the rest of these down. I'm hoping my camera's working, because this is the second time I've done this. The first time the cardboard was too thin. So now I'm doing it again. Okay, good, get it to the ends. Good coverage, but not too much. You don't want soggy cardboard. Now we're going to line this up. We're going to leave 1/8 of an inch in between so that our cover can fold. If you butt them up against each other, it's going to bang into each other and it's not going to open and close very well. So you leave a little space in between there. A little too much. That should be good. Glue that down, give it a minute to dry. Turn it over, find where it is, and rub it down well. That'll sort of spread your glue around more. Make sure there's no glue on your mat. Now we're going to glue down the other side. This will be the back of the book. I'll put the glue on here where I wrote. All around, corners. In the middle. Good coverage, but not too thick. I'm barely pressing the bottle. I just want some glue in all the areas. glue this one down, leaving 1/8 of an inch approximately. Lining it up to my line so that my bottoms are even. That should be good. Press it down, careful, it's going to slide around because the glue is wet. Okay, turn it over and give this a good rub. Spreading out your glue, not moving things. You want to give it some time to dry. Get the corners. Okay, we have everything glued down now. Seems pretty dry enough so it won't move. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take the whole piece and we're going to bend it where the paper ends over itself. Kind of work it into a crease on all edges. So we have a crease started on all our corners, all our edges, and then you're going to slowly work it up until you have a nice flat crease on the bottom. Now be careful you don't rip your paper, your cardstock. Folding it up, giving it time so that it can bend. The more you work it, the simpler, the softer it gets. Now this side I'm going to cut off this extra. That's too much for a wrapped cover. I have about 1/4 of an inch around the whole thing. Okay. Now we're going to fold this again, work this one over. Just keep pushing it up little by little until it gives in and folds. Carefully take your bone folder. Make sure it's flat. You don't want any wrinkles in there. That looks good. Now we're going to fold over the ends. Get one more crease. And see what I'm doing? Just getting that crease to start forming. The back is still glued down well. Now before we start folding, I want you to notice where you have your two folds that intersect in the corner. We're going to cut across there, leaving 1/8 of an inch at the corner, about 1/8 of an inch, like that. And you see where I've left like 1/8 of an inch? Okay. Camera's looking very strange. So here's my corner. I cut it about 1/8 of an inch away from that corner on an angle. I'm going to do all 4 corners 1/8 of an inch away, cutting off that excess because that's going to make a big bump in your corner. You don't want that. Okay, cut this one off. And I'll cut this one off. Okay, now we're going to start gluing this down. I'm going to start on the long edges. Putting glue along the whole side here at the bottom. Not too much. You don't want it soaked. Just want it to stay down. Starting in the middle, we're going to start pushing it up, giving the glue a little chance to dry. I'm trying not to make wrinkles in it. There shouldn't be because we already had our crease there. Okay, I'm going to press this down my bone folder. Far. Trying not to make wrinkles. That looks pretty flat. Go over it a few times and make sure it's stuck. Okay. Mixing up any excess glue. Big mess. Now we're going to turn it on this side and we're going to do the same thing. You see here, this is popping up a little. I'm just going to push it down with my bone folder along the edge that I can see is loose. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing down here on the other long side. The short sides I do last. Bring the glue all the way to the end. Go up that little angle. Okay, now I'm going to start in the middle again, pressing upward on the crease that we already made. Yeah, give the glue a second to hold. It'll take hold in a minute. Pressing up along our crease, wiping up any excess glue. See, this piece is not holding yet. Give it a second. And I'm going to work down this end, pressing the crease, getting it nice and flat, so far no wrinkles. I'm wiping up any excess glue that's coming out. Now I'm going to take my bone folder, make sure it all stays stuck. Creased well. Okay, wiping up the glue. Okay, we have both long edges done. Now what I want you to do here, glue is dry enough. In this crease here that we left the space in between, and you fold it up, I want you to start pressing that in. That's going to make your book fold. Don't ever put any glue in this space. Your book will be either glued shut or glued open. So pressing these, now slowly picking this up. Pressing them as I pick it up. Very lightly, we don't want to rip the paper. It's just these two edges that we're really pressing on, not in here. We get it all the way up. By doing this slowly, you won't crack your paper on the outside when you fold. You're giving it time to train itself. Okay, now I'm going to do it on the other side. Start by pressing in. And then start picking up slowly. Pressing as you go. Top and bottom. So that stays in that crease. And your paper is not going to crack because you're not forcing it to bend. You're giving it a chance to bend. Very good. So you see our paper has been cracked on the outside along the binding. That's what you want. You don't want it cracking over here. Okay, now we're going to do the other ends. Now when we did that little miter, there might be, sometimes there isn't, a very small little bit that you want to push in. That'll sort of cover your cardboard on the corner. Can you see that? That piece that I just pressed down? Just so it's not in the way when we make our corner. I sure hope my camera's working. It's being very strange. Alright, now we're going to put some glue on here. Just a itty bitty bit on the corner and across. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing. I'm just going to fold this up a little bit more. Okay, now we're going to start pressing from the middle. Now here our paper is a little bit short, so it'll work, but it's just going to take a little doing. Get it to stick. Pressing it down. Using your bone folder, but don't make any creases. It needs just 30 seconds to set. See, it's starting to stick. Pushing the corner in there. Make sure it's sticking. That's sticking good. Can you see? Okay, we're going to do the other end. Crease this a little more. See if I have a corner to push in. Not much. Okay. Putting on the glue. Edge good, some sticks. Starting in the center, pushing it up, getting it to hold. Okay, it's starting to stick. And a little bit more. That seems good. I have to press my corners in a little bit. I see this corner is loose, so I'm going to put a little glue under it. A smaller glue bottle. You don't want anything popping up. I'm going to hold this corner down until glue takes, until it grabs. Really very simple to make a wrapped cover. It's kind of like wrapping a present. Now, be very gentle with this. The glue's not dry, and you don't want it to rip. So you've got that good fold in there. You see we have no cracks. By leaving that 1/8 of an inch, you left that space for the covers to move without banging into each other. That makes for a very neat cover. Okay, that looks good. It's all wrapped. Our corners are covered. The glue is stuck. We'll move on to the next part. Just keep gently moving this. Nothing hard. Slowly. Okay, we'll move on to our next part. Put the pin in my glue. I love this bottle, but the hole is so tiny, it's very hard to get in the pin.